Hi, everyone, and greetings from just outside the virtual Peel in Second Life. My name is David London, and I'm the Chief Experience Officer at the Peel, though most of my work is done at the physical Peel located in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we have viewers watching this program both virtually as well as on the Peel's website, as well as on Peel Museum Island, right here in Second Life. For everyone who is joining us today, we welcome you to our annual Founders Day celebration. It was on this day 207 years ago that the doors to Rembrandt Peale's Museum and Gallery of Fine Arts first opened its doors in downtown Baltimore. And it was on this day, exactly 1 year ago today, that the virtual Peel opened its doors here in Second Life. Let's go inside. Here we are, standing in the lobby of the virtual Peel. And just over my left shoulder, a wing, is a portrait of Rembrandt Peale himself. Rembrandt was one of the Peale family of portrait painters as well as museum proprietors. And just through the door to my left is a self-portrait of Charles Willson Peale, who opened the very first museum in America in the 1790s in Philadelphia. Now imagine 207 years ago, the optimism, excitement, and wonder of standing in this lobby at the grand opening of the museum. Let's go upstairs. This is a painting by Rembrandt's brother, Titian Ramsay Peale. It shows a view of the long room of the Peale's Museum in Philadelphia. As you can see, it displays taxidermied animal specimens, rocks and minerals, portraits and busts of famous Americans, and gas light technology, which was brand new at the time. But this isn't where we're stopping today. Let's head on upstairs to the Redefinable exhibition. Here we are in the Redefinable Challenging Inaccessibility exhibition, which opened last year here in Second Life on this very day. The exhibition invites visitors to question and challenge their assumptions about ability and disability. And we are thrilled to announce that the catalog for this exhibition, as well as our recent Kim Rice Inheritance exhibition, will soon be available on the Peel's website. Speaking of accessibility, today's hour-long event includes ASL interpretation as well as live transcriptions. I would like to thank our interpreter, who you see here beside me, as well as our transcriber, who is working today behind the scenes. We also have tech support and accessibility support standing by in Second Life, provided by our friends at Virtual Ability, who have been instrumental partners in bringing the virtual Peel to life. For those of you who are currently watching from the Peel's website, live captions can be seen in the StreamYard reader located directly beneath the video player. Captions can also be found embedded in the YouTube player, both on the Peel's website as well as in Second Life. If you need any help or have any suggestions for accessibility, you can email our accessibility manager, Robin Marquis, at access@thepeelcenter.org. And you will also be hearing from them a bit later on today. Please feel free to use the chat box on our website or in Second Life to leave your comments, and Peel team members are standing by to answer any questions. We also have viewers today listening by phone. If you are joining by phone, we ask that you please keep yourself muted. While we certainly don't expect any complications, in the event of any technical difficulties or unforeseen circumstances during today's broadcast, please watch the chat or your email for further instructions. If you need any technical help with today's broadcast, you can email online@thepeelcenter.org. You can also reach us on social media. We are at The Peel on Twitter and Facebook, and The Peel Baltimore on Instagram, using the handles also being shared on the chat box. And now, let's head back to the lobby. And now, please join me as we open a portal from the virtual Peel to the physical Peel. Well, to be honest with you all, this is not what the building looks like today. You see, the Peel is currently undergoing renovation and looks much more like this. And you'll be hearing about, as well as getting a special glimpse into the renovation and restoration of our historic building throughout today's program. I do want to take a moment to recognize PNC Bank for their sponsorship of this event, as well as their ongoing support of the Peel. And now we would like to begin this event by acknowledging with humility that the lands where the Peel and Baltimore is situated today are the traditional ancestral and unceded lands of Piscataway, Lenape, and Susquehannock indigenous people. The vast coastal area today known as Baltimore City, Maryland, sustained indigenous peoples until the arrival of the Europeans beginning in the 1600s. Over the next 400 years, many Piscataway, Lenape, and Susquehannock communities were decimated, absorbed by larger villages or tribes, and or forced by the U.S. federal government to move west beyond the Mississippi River with larger tribes. Since then, other tribal peoples have moved here in diaspora, including Lumbee peoples. On January 9, 2012, two tribes of Piscataway, the Piscataway Conoy tribe and the Piscataway Indian Nation, became the first tribes recognized by the state of Maryland. In 2017, the state also recognized the Accohannock Indian tribe. We acknowledge the Peel stands on stolen lands. We would also like to acknowledge that this history was adopted from an original text authored by Ryan A. Coons, Peter Dayton, and Ashley Minner of the Lumbee tribe, and offer our thanks for their contribution. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the Peel's Chief Administrative Officer, Krista Green, to tell you more about our past, present, and future.
Hi, I'm Krista Green, Chief Administrative Officer at the Peel, and I'm thrilled to welcome our online and Second Life audience to today's Founders Day celebration. Located in downtown Baltimore, catty corner to City Hall, the Peel is a center for Baltimore's stories based in the oldest museum building in the United States, established by artist Rembrandt Peale in 1814. Our building has had many lives as the first City Hall of Baltimore and later as male and female colored school number 1 at the end of the 19th century, transforming the educational landscape for African Americans in Baltimore and Maryland. After operating as the Municipal Museum of Baltimore from 1930 to 1990, the building sat vacant for 20 years, and as David mentioned, we are now renovating the historic Peel Museum building. We're looking forward to reopening early next year and providing a platform for the city's storytellers. These Baltimore stories are important cultural contributions. They preserve and honor our shared cultural heritage. Our mission is to ensure the entire story of the city is told, and by amplifying its community's voices, help people everywhere see Baltimore in a new light. We work with local creators, storytellers, griots, performers, artists, architects, historians, students, educators, all of them, cultural keepers who employ the full range of artistic media and processes to produce and share their narratives of the city, its places, and the diverse people who have made Baltimore what it is today. In the innovative spirit of the Peale family of artists and explorers, Peel is a new kind of civic museum, both a laboratory and a teaching museum, not just a treasure house, but also a production house of culture. While the renovation and restoration project is well underway, Peel team continues its work, developing exciting opportunities, initiatives, and projects, several of which you will hear about today. We are thrilled to announce today that the Peel is the new administrator of Grit Fund. Grit Fund, a grant program for visual arts supported by the Andy Warhol Foundation, will support local creatives and is relaunching this fall. More information about Grit Fund will be posted soon on its website, www.gritfund.org. We are also hard at work on our current storytelling initiative, the Proximity Project. To get us rolling today, we'd like to share an update of the project and a musical performance of the project's soundtrack. Here to tell you more and introduce the performance is Peel's storytelling ambassador, Miss Daisy Brown. Daisy?
Hi, everyone. This is Daisy Brown. I am the storytelling ambassador of the Peel, and I just wanted to tell you just a little bit about our current project called the Proximity Project. And basically, it surrounds the issues that has happened around the last year and a half about the protests and the unrest and demonstrations and current civil rights issues that were happening locally and around the world, but more in Baltimore City. We are encouraging you and inviting you to share your stories with us about your experiences in those moments, whether you were a participant or just have thoughts or comments about it. And we'll hear more about that later on in our presentation. But in the meantime, the stories we collect for Proximity Project will be put to a musical score that was commissioned from Scott Patterson of Afro House, which is awesome. And now, as we await your stories, we are thrilled to share with you the world premiere of some of Scott's music for the Proximity Project. Enjoy.
Thank you, Scott, for that incredible performance and for being part of the Proximity Project and the Peel family. And now to tell you how you can add your story to the Proximity Project, here once again is Daisy Brown, who was joined by Maya Wilson, the Peel's social media coordinator, at last week's Baltimore Farmers Market, located just 1 block from the Peel.
You can share your story many ways. You can share in person when you see us at one of these events. You can also go online to our website, thepeelcenter.org. You can download our free iPhone app, Be Here Stories, or you can call into our number, 1-833-835-7879. We look forward to talking to you and sharing your amazing, wonderful stories.
Yes. And check us out on our social media. You can find us on Instagram at The Peel, or you can find us on Facebook, The Peel Center Baltimore. We'll hear from you guys soon.
Accessibility in all forms is always a top priority at the Peel. And we would now like to give you a first glimpse into the Peel's renovations and restorations. And we are beyond excited to be joined by the Peel's accessibility manager, Robin Marquis.
Hi everyone, my name is Robin Marquis. I'm the Accessibility Manager at the Peel, and I am standing right now in some of our most exciting new updates at the Peel around accessibility. To my right, we have this dark looming hole, which will be our new elevator, and behind me are 2 places that are going to be our accessible restrooms and all-inclusive, gender-neutral restrooms. There'll be 2 of the 5 that we're having. So these are things that I'm incredibly excited to tell you about. It's incredibly innovative to have an elevator put in a historic building. It's important to us because we want folks to be able to access all of our floors, all of our programs without having to worry about how they're navigating through a space. And on top of that, we've been looking at all of our signage, wayfinding, how people move through the space to make sure they have all the information they need, where they travel to. We're creating tactile and braille signage, as well as looking at immersive and tactile exhibitions. We're looking at the way that we communicate, the language we use, how accessible the words we are using on our website, and just wanting to make this place more available to all folks, especially those with disabilities. So thank you so much for all your support in us getting here, and I can't wait to join you at the Peel in our elevator.
Thank you, Robin, for all your hard work, knowledge, and expertise. And now, speaking of hard work, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome the Peel's Chief Strategy Officer, Nancy Proctor.
Hi, I'm Nancy Proctor, the Peel's Chief Strategy Officer. The Peel's board brought me onto the team in 2017 to help define a purpose for the organization, as well as to fundraise for the renovation of the Peel Museum building. At that time, the board president was Jim Dilts, whom many of you may remember as an author, historian, and indefatigable champion of Baltimore architecture and jazz. Tragically, Jim passed away in 2018, but his legacy lives on. Without Jim Dilt's determination and persistence, the Peel would more than likely still be standing vacant and decaying today. When Jim and I talked about the mission to save the Peel, he shared with me one of his favorite quotations by Alan Affeldt, who's restored historic buildings in the American Southwest. I believe we save great buildings in the same way we save families, cities, and nations, one day at a time, with constant investment and courage, undaunted by naysayers and long odds. I believe in the sacredness of place and in the power of great architecture to inspire creativity, kindness, and civic responsibility. As we prepare to reopen the Peel early next year, I'd like to add that the nation's first museum building has been saved one person at a time. More than 500 individuals and organizations have made contributions, small and large, to the Peel's renovations over the past 7 years and more. Every penny and every person has been critical to helping us complete this hard-won $5.3 million project, as well as to sustaining the Peel's work and team over the past 4.5 years. But equally valuable has been your belief in the importance of the Peel to Baltimore and your shared commitment to relaunching it as a community anchor and platform. As the African proverb goes, every time an elder dies, a library is burned to the ground. With your help, we're saving not just the Peel, but also Baltimore's intangible cultural heritage. In the historic Peel Museum building, Baltimore's stories and communities' voices will finally have a showcase that honors their importance and historical value. We are proud to have preserved, shared, and amplified more than 1,650 authentic Baltimore stories in all media over the past 4 years, and to now steward the largest digital collection of Baltimore stories in the world. We want to make sure that your story is also part of the Peel as it embarks on its 3rd century of service to the city and the country. If you haven't already, you can donate a brick inscribed with your message for the repaving of the Mimi Cooper Garden at the Peel. And now, how often do you get to leave a mark on a 207-year-old building that will be visible and cherished for generations to come?
It is now my pleasure to introduce a longtime partner of the Peel, Aaron Henkin, who, along with photographer and music producer Wendell Patrick, have, for the last several years, produced the Out of the Blocks radio series on Baltimore's own NPR station WYPR, and focused on stories collected from one block of Baltimore at a time. As that series is set to air its final program this week, we've welcomed Aaron back to share some reflections on the project.
Hey, everybody. Aaron Henkin here from Out of the Blocks. And I just want to say off the top how very grateful I am to the Peel for being such a friend, such a supporter of our work for so many years. We are kindred spirits, Out of the Blocks and the Peel, in our belief in the power and the importance of stories. And I'm just really, really glad for any opportunity that we have to work together. So, Out of the Blocks is this neighborhood documentary series that started with a very simple question. How do you find stories that you don't even know exist? This is a riddle that we've dedicated ourselves to for about a decade now, and we've kind of come up with a remarkably simple solution, and that is we talk to strangers. This is a counterintuitive way to live your life. A lot of us have been socially programmed to do the opposite by our parents. But what we've come to learn is if you can find it in yourself to break that rule, that don't talk to strangers rule, your average day is going to get a whole lot more interesting. Little backstory on how we wound our way down this road. I'm a public radio journalist. A couple of years back, this idea started percolating in my head for this unusual kind of documentary. I thought, what if you could go to a city block in Baltimore and meet and interview everyone on that block about their lives? What would that sound like? What would you learn? And so I called my friend Wendell Patrick, whose music is excellent, and I said to him, hey, can I borrow some of your instrumental tracks to lay under this weird project I want to try? And he asked me a little more about the project, and he said, well, what if instead of using my old tracks, I actually offer to create an original musical score for this thing that incorporates the sounds of the block into the musical composition, which I said, Awesome. Yes, that would be incredible. So we teamed up, we picked a block, we picked the 3300 block of Greenmount Avenue, and we got to work. We made it our mission to meet and get to know and interview everybody on that block about life. And Wendell put it to music, and it was fascinating. I'm going to share my screen here with you. I've got a little slide deck set up. Share, slideshow, play from beginning. All right, you should see the Out of the Blocks logo. I'm going to play some audio clips for you as well. And this is what the top of the episode on Greenmount Avenue sounded like.
I'm Mr. Dorsey at Dreams Boutique.
Teresa Marable, we're at No Limit Communications.
Zishan Kazmi, King's Fried Chicken.
你好，欢迎大家来到五月花园仓。
Dimitri, we're at Stereo and Jewelry Exchange right now.
Michael D. Thornton, Miller's Financial.
Officer Charles Faulkner, Sector 2.
Private Song is our name.
Krishan Hafta Michael. Address is Mama Grocery Store.
My name is LaShawn Glasgow.
My name is Tiffany Thomas, and we're at Sheer Intensity Hair Salon.
3338 Greenmount Avenue.
3349.
3330. 3310.
I do my business right here on Greenmount 33rd.
Right? One block, everybody's story. This idea is not rocket science. This is a simple, repeatable formula. So Wendell and I thought, like, what if we tried this on another block? And so we ended up doing that. We did it again and again and again, and that's how this one block, everybody's story idea, 10 years and 90 some episodes later, has basically, became our life's work. Now, when you listen to these episodes of Out of the Blocks, one thing you do not hear a lot of is me. You hear the people on the block in their own words, on their own terms, in their own spaces. I make myself relatively invisible as a producer in the final edits of these productions. But I'm going to go out on a limb with you guys this evening. I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit. I'm going to talk about the effect this work has had on me personally as a human being. And I'll tell you, it's an interesting mixture of joy and fear that flows through you when you embark on this kind of journalistic leap of faith. I mean, because we're all inherently skeptical creatures, and who really wants someone showing up on your doorstep asking you to share your life story? But the thing is, once a person realizes that you really are there just with nothing but your fundamental human curiosity and a microphone, there really is no end to what people are willing and able and eager to share about their lives. Conversations, sure you've heard it said, are like therapy. For both parties involved, there is nothing like the power of someone else's personal story to put your own life in perspective. This is a photo of a guy named Clayton Williams. I met him on the 2100 block of Edmondson Avenue, West Baltimore. And I learned, I guess you could say I learned a lesson about survival from Clayton. He had burns all over his face and body from a fire that he suffered in an abandoned row house where he'd been squatting. And when I met him, Clayton was living in a van, an abandoned van in a parking lot of an auto shop where he was working as the night watchman.
I'm 65 now, so I've been surviving for a mighty, mighty long time.
I learned a lesson about gratitude when I met this guy. His name is Spiro Kronis. He's a Greek immigrant. He works as a painter, and he starts his mornings very early at the Greek Village Bakery on the 4700 block of Eastern Avenue. And when he gets to talking about his wife, he breaks down into tears.
I meet, girl, first day here, I guess, in Baltimore. And we're married now for 30 years.
Can I ask what's making you feel emotional right now?
I don't know, just all these years, stay with the same woman.
You're crying tears of happiness right now.
Yeah.
I learned a lesson about resiliency when I met this woman, Tamikia Spellman. Tamikia ran a hair salon on the 4700 block of Liberty Heights Avenue. She was physically abused by her dad when she was a kid. She's a mom now, and she's determined to give her own kids a different experience.
I didn't have a childhood. My childhood was horrible, very horrible. So I want my children to get the best out of theirs. The fact that I can sit here, talk to you, and smile after everything that's happened to me, the fact that I can do that, that's only God.
the more people I've met, the more stories I've heard over the years, there's this idea that's cropped up for me, kind of like my North Star guiding principle. And that is the idea of treating everyone I meet as my teacher for the day. This is a guy named Yusuf. I met him in Northwest Baltimore, Yusuf Ali. He taught me a lesson about, I guess you could say, working with limited options. When I had met him, he had just got out of jail for dealing narcotics. He's got like court fees to pay at the point when I met him, but he can't get a job because he's got a criminal record.
And now you got to go back out here and sell drugs because you can't get a job fast enough. The drug trade is just not my only hustle. Man, you tell me cut your grass and for $50, I'm gonna cut it. You tell me dig a hole for $100, I'm gonna dig that hole. You know what I mean? I don't care what you're using the hole for. I'm gonna dig it. You know, so it never stops.
I'm going to stop my sharing here for a second. And I'll just say there are those stories that you didn't know existed. And then there are the kinds of stories that you just can't imagine existing. And when you do treat every voice you encounter as your teacher in that moment, you really can fundamentally redefine for yourself what it means to be educated. That said, I'll share a little bittersweet news with you, and that's that this coming week we're publishing the final episode of Out of the Blocks. It's been an incredible run, but as my co-producer Wendell and I get ready to move on to some other projects, I hope we've left behind something that's, you know, not only a document of where we've been, but also kind of an open source recipe book for where you can go, where other people can go. I would love nothing more than to hear other people's own manifestations of this very, very simple Out of the Blocks formula in the years ahead. And being at this crossroads at the end of this chapter, it makes me really all the more grateful to the Peel right now for the work they've been doing over the past year or so. I think it's been a year, creating this entirely new interactive way to experience the whole back catalog of Out of the Blocks. It's an online exhibition of audio and photos from the series, and it lets you like hop around from block to block, story to story, and experience this larger body of work in a whole new way. The exhibition has taken a lot of work on the part of the Peel, and a lion's share of that work has been taken on by my friend Heather Shelton, who's the digital curator at the Peel. And so now I'm going to say thank you to you guys. I'm going to kick it over to Heather to talk a little bit about the Peel's new exhibition, Out of the Blocks, Stories in Plain Sight.
Thanks, Aaron. My name is Heather Shelton, and I am the digital curator and registrar at the Peel in Baltimore. And I've been working with Aaron and Wendell over the last, say, 11 months or so to put together a website of all of the Out of the Block stories. And you can find that even now as we speak at ootb.thepeel.org. That stands for Out of the Blocks.thepeel.org. And when we launched last year, we launched with 4 blocks of these incredible stories that Aaron and Wendell have been capturing over the years. And we're up to 13 blocks. So we have a tremendous number of stories that you can listen to, as well as see the incredible photography that Wendell put into the project, along with his original score to these stories that Aaron has collected. So we're very excited to continue that partnership, continue adding new blocks to the Out of the Blocks website. In fact, we'll be hopefully adding new blocks within the next few weeks or so as Aaron and Wendell wrap up their entire project. And in addition, what we've also been trying to do is to include transcripts from these stories to make the content just that much more accessible. But we are continuing to work on making the experience interesting and exciting for people who are interested in both seeing the photographs and hearing the stories of people all around Baltimore. Stories about everything from being a new American to starting a business and everything in between. You're going to recognize a lot of the businesses that are spoken of. You're going to recognize a lot of the streets and a lot of the blocks, and you might even recognize some of the people. Aaron and Wendell have also contributed their own stories to this project. So it's a great opportunity to sit and listen and be amazed by the people who are right next door. So with that, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Erin and Heather. I would now like to introduce the president of the board of directors at the Peel, William Chickering, who will take us back into the building in its current state of renovation and restoration and share with you some of the exciting discoveries that he's made while overseeing this process.
I had the good fortune of discovering the Peel about 4 years ago. I came with my family for an event here. We all had a great time, but I began to fall in love with the building. The period in the first 25 years of the 19th century has always appealed to me in terms of American architecture, and here I get to be intimately involved in one of the most important buildings in the cultural history of our nation, being the first purpose-built museum and being built in 1814. It has a wealth of treasures. One of the first things that was done before I got involved was restoration of the windows. Historic glass was inserted into reproduction window frames. The craftsmen were so careful that they built a profile of the muntins, which is appropriate for the original windows that were here. They're so good that they fool the eye completely. We've made interesting discoveries while we have been working here. One of the things you see here is an alcove. We don't know what its purpose was. It is painted to give us a clue that there was some sort of bookcase built in at some point. We see the molding from 1930 behind there, but there was molding in front covering this space up so that it was completely flat. On the third floor, in a similar space, we discovered some wonderful floral wallpaper. There's been a lot of discussion about its period. I think it's from about the time of the war between the states, but there is no way for us to really currently understand why this fluffy wallpaper would have been here in a time when this building served as Baltimore's first city hall. Another thing that has excited me is to discover what I thought at first was a gas pipe in the ceiling when it was opened to provide access for fire suppression systems, for electricity, and for the new heating, ventilating, and air conditioning systems. The rod went between the joists. It was pointed out to me that no, it was not a gas pipe. It was a support with a turnbuckle, so that what happened is it was part of a system of 6 or 8 similar structures that pulled the front of the building and the back of the building together to provide structural stability. I've learned a lot more about the building by looking at its insides. If I look up here, I see several generations of what we today would call subflooring. There are some wide boards, some of them badly cracked, that are some of the original subflooring right above the joists. In other parts of this trenched ceiling, there are much narrower boards, which are indicative of the post-industrial period, which would have been from the time of the Civil War forward. This could have gone in any time, really, in the 100 years between about 1850 and 1950. It is likely that it did not go in any later than 1930 because John Scharf did a really wonderful job of reimagining the interior of the building, which had been pretty much desecrated prior to that time.
Thank you, Chick, for all of your work on this project and for sharing your fascinating discoveries with us. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Peel's artistic director, Jeffrey Kent, who will talk about the upcoming AAA Accomplished Arts Apprentices program.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeffrey Kent, artistic director and soon-to-be chief curator of the Peel. And I just want to talk about some of the things that I do here at the Peel and why I think it's important for you to consider supporting the PIL. One of the main focuses of my conversation with you today is AAA. AAA stands for Accomplished Art Apprentices. It's a program that we are developing to teach young people, and mainly focusing on people from marginalized communities, with peer-to-peer instruction, meaning they'll be working with young people from the community that are maybe attending college or just graduated from high school, with high school dropouts. And we want to have them all learn the skills, life skills, financial literacy. There's so many different aspects of our curriculum that are going to help these people really get a good direction and a way to take their lives. Because we are mainly focused with the squeegee workers who already are young people with an entrepreneurial drive. So that's kind of how this whole program focused. And this program, the inaugural program, which is called Accomplished Art Apprentices, will be conducted in a with a special room that's dedicated to the learning of young people from Baltimore. It's the Moses Williams Center, and it's named after Moses Williams, a Black artist and entrepreneur born into enslavement. An enslaved couple who were part of the Charles Wilson Peel's household in Philadelphia. Moses grew up with the Peels, biological children, but unlike them, was not taught to paint or many other things, of course. Instead, he was taught how to cut silhouettes, and he became a successful silhouette cutter. And for those of you who are into the modern art world, the contemporary artist that is doing silhouettes now is Kara Walker. If you want to see what silhouette cuts look like, you can Google Kara Walker. And he started a silhouette cutting business in the Peel, Philadelphia Museum, and eventually earned enough money to buy a house and marry the Peel's cook, who was an Irish indentured servant. Once he was emancipated at the age of 27, a year earlier, due to the financial success of his artistic practice. Although slavery was illegal in Philadelphia by this time, thanks to Philadelphia's Act for the Gradual Abolition of Slavery, which Wilson Peel helped pass in the State Assembly in 1780. Enslavers were illegal and financially responsible for the formerly enslaved, who were considered indentured until they were 28 years old. So this brings me to how this all centers to a great relationship with the Peel, which also, by the way, was the first color school, which you may have already known, for young Black children to attend and learn how to be teachers. So that's one of the main aspects that we'll be working on. The apprentices will help install the upcoming exhibitions in the Peel, as well as help finish some of the finishings of the restorations, like plastering, painting, and things of that nature. And these apprentices are paid an above average wage. One of the most important aspects of this program for me is that we try to get as close to matching what they already are getting daily with their hustle in order to try to get them interested in taking another direction. We'll have a historical preservationist come in and teach historical preservation techniques and giving them enough skills where they can actually get a job doing historical preservation. which is a dominantly white male industry. And so we are really working hard at creating diversity and inclusion for our Baltimore community, and we would like to have you share in the opportunity that we have to make lives better. So keep it up, enjoy life, and live to inspire.
You heard Jeffrey mention the Moses Williams Center and share a brief story about Moses Williams's role at the Peale's museums in the 19th century as a silhouette cutter. And now, to share more insight into the history of silhouette cutting, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the Peale's silhouette cutter in residence, Lauren Muni.
Hi, I'm Lauren Muni from Silhouettes by Hand, and this is Silhouettes in Baltimore, a brief history in profile. There's so much to talk about this subject that I've left many things out. However, I hope you enjoy the journey that we do take. I cut silhouette portraits with scissors in the traditional manner, without drawing first or using any shadows. I look at people to cut their portrait. I travel around the world creating these portraits, but I live here in Baltimore. Here is a brief story about silhouettes in Baltimore. This could be history's first portrait. Around 50 AD, Pliny the Elder wrote about a potter whose daughter was deeply in love with a young man leaving on a long journey. She traced the profile of his face from shadow from a lamplight. The potter made the shadow in clay, perhaps making the first profile. Ancient Greece and Rome ruled over most of the Western Hemisphere for 1,000 years. In the Middle Ages, Greek and Roman beliefs were being discovered and rethought. This became known as the Renaissance or rebirth. Included in the artworks were profile coins depicting strong personalities. In the 1700s, people wanted to feel as strong as Greek or Roman rulers. They used symbols of the Greek and Roman times, including profiles. Before photography, the only way to have a picture of yourself was to go to an artist. In the 1700s, artists painted grand manner portraits, huge grand portrait paintings with fancy clothing and backgrounds. These portraits were painted to inspire the viewer to think well on the person in the painting. These portraits could cost a small fortune, so only rich people could have portraits made. It was a status symbol to have a fancy portrait painted. So it wasn't long until people started figuring out how to make cheap but good-looking portraits, profiles often colored black. Even non-wealthy people could have a portrait made. To be cheap enough for middle-class people was a revelation. That started a boom in buying these types of portraits. Some profiles were inked. Some profiles were painted. Some profiles were cut with scissors. Freehand scissored silhouettes are the type of silhouette portraiture that I do. There's no drawing in advance, using any shadow or any machinery. It's like drawing with scissors, and only scissors. This scissored profile is in German, and it says Paul Konefka, finely cut self-portrait. Speaking of the word cut, I always think about the tools. Left, you're going to see medieval scissors. In the middle, early pivot scissors, and each set of the side of the scissors is made by hand. And on the right, our more familiar scissors are seen here. Finest cut work is only possible after the invention of this tool, right before the American Revolution. To spread the likenesses, artists as well as salesmen traveled on foot or by animal. Roads were difficult and not paved between towns. Artists would occasionally go house to house, until Charles Willson Peale created a place where silhouettes could be cut in the new United States. First in Philadelphia and then Baltimore, the Peales and his sons created the first museums in the new country. In the museum were stuffed and preserved animals, art, dinosaur bones recently discovered, and more. It was 25 cents to enter the museums, and the poor could even save up to enter should they want to. On August 15th, 1814, Rembrandt Peale, Charles's son, launched his first museum in Baltimore, Maryland. Peale decided to display only works of art and manufactured products. Profiles were cut at the museum, a chance for visitors to take home their own artwork. The Peel family promoted profiles as being far better than a painted portrait. In just a few moments, 4 profiles for a few cents. Real, quote unquote, artists of the day were proudly proclaiming their painted portraits would show nobility and elite status, a glamorized version of the sitter. Even Raphael Peel, one of the most talented painters of his generation, both painted and made silhouettes using a traveling profile making machine. He made tens of thousands of silhouettes, including this silhouette of John Adams. And that would have only cost 4 copies for 25 cents, 1/4 of the price of a pair of shoes. In the Philadelphia Peel Museum, Moses Williams was a young boy when he was given to Peel as part of a payment owed by a customer for whom Peel painted a portrait. Moses and his mother were enslaved. Peel, who liked having an extra set of hands, was uncomfortable owning slaves. So Peel treated Moses like his own sons and put all of them to work in the museum. Moses eventually started working the profile machine and found that he could recut the badly drawn, machine-made silhouettes to look delicate and exact. Peel manumitted, which means released from enslavement, Moses in 1804, and Moses made extra money selling parts of the silhouette normally thrown away. Treating a man of color with respect and artistic merit and paying him in cash was one of the most equal actions that a person could undertake in early America, when slavery was still legal and the transatlantic slave trade wasn't yet abolished by law. The silhouettes cut at the Peel museums were just like this. They were cut onto white paper with black paper behind it. Silhouette artists kept a copybook of their silhouettes. Most often, an artist handed the customer the hollow cut, the open hole portrait, and kept the cutout head for his archives books. This book by artist William Bache contains over 1,800 heads of all ethnicities, races, sexes, and economics. If he had 25 cents, he made them silhouettes. Silhouettes were collected as inexpensive reminders of friends and loved ones. Here is Thomas Jefferson's display of silhouettes, like you would display your family photos. It's important to realize that during the era of our early country, as today, silhouettes became the first democratic and uniting portrait form even before photography was invented, and long before we had a camera in our pockets. Profiles and silhouettes show our beauty and our similarities without taking away our unique qualities. I love silhouettes, and I hope you join the Peel Center in loving them too. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this presentation to help you understand silhouettes, which you can experience yourself either today or by meeting us in person in the future or by seeing more opportunities on our websites.
Thank you, Lauren. I learned so much. And now, as a special treat, here's a quick 30-second demonstration of Lauren cutting a silhouette by hand. From looking back at the past to looking forward to the future, it is my pleasure to introduce Whitney Frazier, who is organizing our next exhibition, The Guardians, which will open in November at our remote site, Carroll Mansion.
Hi, my name is Whitney Frazier. I'm the lead organizer for the Guardians Project, a storytelling and public art project that we are partnering with 13 Black female leaders across Baltimore City. And I'm collaborating with Kirby Griffin, a self-taught photographer, to feature the women at the Carroll Mansion in partnership with the Peel Museum this fall, as well as other various public locations to be announced. And I'm going to show you a sneak preview of some of those photos right now. So these are the Guardians. This is Sister Yeshia Israel from the Park Heights neighborhood, and the other women are listed here below. Again, it's a collaboration between myself and Kirby Griffin, and it has been supported by the Deutsch Foundation, the Peel Museum, and Department of Planning. Here are some of the incredible photos that we took on site in the neighborhoods. It's Antoinette Mugar and her daughter Taylor. Samira and her daughter. This is West Baltimore. This is Deputy Commissioner Cherie Briscoe. Audrey Carter, Oliver neighborhood. And this doesn't show all of them in one spot, but this is our save the date. We hope you could join us virtually or in person on November 6th at the Carroll Mansion for our premiere opening event. And these women, this project celebrates them and the work that they do to bring resources to their communities. And I believe that our city needs to do more to uplift their work and their stories. So I'm using art and my ability to bring to light who they are and their tireless work to create resources and opportunities for people in their neighborhoods.
This week, we not only celebrate the birthday of the virtual Peel, along with the physical Peel and its many lives, but it's also the birthday of our storyteller in residence, Mama Linda Goss, who will now share an original poem of rebirth and renewal called My Mother's Bells.
My bells are ringing, my soul is singing. I am the bell ringer, I am the praise singer, I am the truth weller, I am the storyteller. Oh Lord, help me now. Oh Lord, help me now. Ashe, 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 ashe. Mama, oh mama, my mother's bells, my mother's bells. Let the bells ring out peace. Let the bells ring out peace. Let the spirit of love be released, and the hatred for mankind cease. Let their prosperity increase. Let their prosperity increase. Let the gray morning change into a sunlit morn. Let us rebuild and be reborn. The winds of God have spoken. Let the circle of hope be unbroken. The winds of God have spoken. Let the circle of hope be unbroken.
As we approach the end of our time together today, I wanted to take a moment to remind you that our programs are truly driven by our community partners, Grassroots Up. If you think the Peel could be a good platform for your story, performance, exhibition, or event, please get in touch. We'd love to offer a platform for your creativity, both online through our virtual event production facilities and in person in the Historic Peel Museum or in one of our partner sites like Carroll Mansion, or even right here in Second Life. If you have any ideas, please email us at events@thepeelcenter.org with your ideas for now or in the future. Please be on the lookout for information about the Peel's inaugural season launch party taking place in October. And don't forget to mark your calendars for November 6th for the opening of the Guardians exhibition at Carroll Mansion. and also in Second Life. For myself and everyone at the Peel, thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon.